everyone. This is Miss Tong. Today, let's read a story called Green Island. The children are in an outing. The view is beautiful. Where do you think they are going? To the Green Island? Do you think the island is in a lake or at sea? Have you been to a small island? What did you see there? What do you think the children might see on Green Island? Let's read a story together. Mr. Johnson took his class away for the week. They went to a big house called Sea Bay House. Mrs. May went too. The children were excited. Sea Bay House was near the sea, and there were lots of interesting things to do. Wow! A week-long outing! How exciting! Was Sea Bay House a hotel? Take a look at the sign by the gate. It says Sea Bay House Study Center. The children came to Sea Bay House not just to have fun, but to learn interesting things too. What would they do first when they got there? Everyone unloaded the bus. Some of these bags and cases are heavy, said Mr. Johnson. We're only here for a week. Mrs. May found a toothbrush. Whose toothbrush is this? She asked. Oh dear, said Biff. I think it's mine. Of course, they needed to unload the bus first. How could Biff lose her toothbrush already? Whose 就是谁的 Whose toothbrush? 谁的牙刷 Biff said, It's mine. Mine 就是我的 Biff 这个马大哈连牙刷都丢了 Have you ever lost something on a trip? I know, I have. What do you think the children pack in their bags? Lots of books? Maybe. Or loads of toys? Yes. Or tons of chocolate bars? Of course. Mr. Johnson also brought supplies for the children. There were orange juice, fruits, scientific instruments, 科学器材 and chemistry sets, 化学实验套装 They were prepared. Mr. Johnson showed the boys their room. You'll be sleeping in here, he said. I want the top bunk, shouted Chip. No, I want the top bunk, shouted Wilf. Mr. Johnson tossed a coin. Heads or tails, he said. Bunk beds are two beds stacked together, one above the other. Both Chip and Wilf liked the top bunk. It was fun climbing up and down the bed on a ladder. How did Mr. Johnson decide who got the top bunk? A coin toss. Heads mean the side with the person's head on it. Tails mean the other side. Who do you think won? Do you like the top bunk or the bottom bunk? Why did Mr. Johnson toss a coin? To decide who got the top bunk. Mr. Johnson gave the children a map. Then he took the children for a long walk. After a while, they stopped for a rest. The children looked at their maps. Mr. Johnson showed them the places they could see. "Your map is upside down, Biff," said Wolf. It looked like a perfect day for a long walk. Not too hot, not too cold, and the view was amazing. The children were happy after a long walk. No one moaned and groaned, "I'm tired." They also learned to read maps. Do you know how to read maps? First of all, you have to make sure your map is not upside down. Nadim pointed to a little island out at sea. "What's that island called?" he asked. "Look on your maps," said Mr. Johnson. "Who can tell me what the island is called?" Chip and Anina knew. "It's called Green Island," they said. Chip and Anina were good at reading maps. They found the island on the map. Why do you think the island was called Green Island? Perhaps because it was green. Do you think the children could visit Green Island? Not today. Everyone was hungry after the long walk. When they got back, it was time for supper. The children served the food, and then they helped wash up. "I don't like washing up at home," said Wolf, "but it's fun washing up here." Supper after a long walk was the best. Everything tasted better. Everything tasted the best if you had supper with your friends, right? Served 在这里是分发食物的意思。After dinner, Wolf had fun washing up. He used a brush. Whose brush was it? I hope it was not Biff's toothbrush. That night, the children were tired, but they couldn't sleep. Chip kept telling jokes and making silly noises. In the end, Mr. Johnson came in. He was cross with Chip. "I'll send you to bed at 6 o'clock tomorrow if I hear any more noise." Now we knew who won the coin toss. Chip did. No wonder he couldn't sleep. He was too excited. Then he was in trouble. Mr. Johnson wanted to sleep. It was hard work taking care of so many children. No wonder he was cross. Have you ever been too excited to sleep? I bet you have. Did you get in trouble? Why was Mr. Johnson cross with Chip? because Chip kept telling jokes and making silly noises. The next day, the children did a beach study. Some children worked with Mr. Johnson. They made squares on the beach and looked at everything in each square. Biff found a shell with a crab inside it. "It's called a hermit crab," she said. The children used sticks and ropes to make a square. Square 就是正方形。Why did they make a square? The square helped them to focus and only look at the things in the square very carefully. Biff found a hermit crab. What else can you see in the square? I can see some shells, some seaweed, and is that a comb? Whose comb was it? I hope it was not Biff's comb. What happened next? Let's find out in the next episode. See you next time.
本节目由喜马拉雅出品，